In late 2025, the global auto industry was shaken, not by a new car but by BYD's CEO, Wang Chuanfu, who publicly refuted a rival's claim. The moment was electric, as the world's eyes turned to a Chinese automaker not for its products, but for its bold voice. Wang's statement was more than a rebuttal. It was a declaration that BYD would no longer accept being underestimated or misrepresented on the world stage. Instead of a quiet correction, BYD issued a direct data-backed press release, breaking the industry's tradition of discreet diplomacy. The document was circulated widely, making headlines and sparking debate among analysts and competitors alike. It was clear BYD wanted the world to know the facts and wasn't afraid to challenge the status quo. This wasn't just about sales figures, it was BYD demanding respect as a global leader, not a newcomer. The company's rapid expansion and innovation had earned it a seat at the table, and now it was making sure everyone recognized it. The move signaled a shift, a Chinese brand openly challenging a European giant, forcing legacy automakers to face a new reality. For decades, European brands had set the tone, but now, the balance of power was shifting. BYD's boldness was a calculated risk, but their confidence was rooted in undeniable growth and market momentum. Investors took notice, and the company's rising fortunes reflected a broader change in the industry's landscape. In fiercely competitive Europe, letting false narratives stand could be costly, so BYD seized control of the story. The company's proactive approach set a new standard for how automakers could defend their reputation in a globalized market. Their response was both a defense of their brand and a showcase of their rapid success. It was a message to competitors and consumers alike. BYD was here to stay, and it was playing to win. The announcement sent shockwaves through boardrooms worldwide, forcing a re-evaluation of Chinese automakers' capabilities. Executives everywhere began to question old assumptions and rethink their strategies. BYD's public rebuttal, backed by hard data, shattered the old perception of Chinese brands as mere imitators. It highlighted the company's commitment to innovation, quality, and transparency. It was a wake-up call. The threat from Chinese EV makers was no longer distant. It was here, and growing fast. The world had to take notice, as a new era in the automotive industry was clearly underway. The spark that ignited the controversy was a comment from Stellantis CEO Antonio Filosa, made during a high-profile industry event that drew the attention of the entire automotive world. Filosa claimed that Leapmotor had outsold BYD in Germany, a statement that quickly made waves across the industry and media. For BYD, this wasn't just a simple error, it was a public misrepresentation of their hard-won progress in one of Europe's most competitive and challenging markets. BYD responded swiftly and decisively, issuing a public press release to set the record straight, a rare and bold move in the often reserved auto industry. They presented official German vehicle registration data, providing clear, indisputable evidence and leaving no room for debate or speculation. Germany, home to legendary automotive giants, is the ultimate proving ground for any car maker. Achieving success here is a true badge of honor and credibility. For BYD, having their achievements questioned and downplayed by a major global competitor was simply unacceptable, especially at such a pivotal moment in their European journey. The dispute exposed not only a factual error, but also the rising tensions between established Western brands and ambitious Chinese newcomers eager to prove themselves. Filosa's comment revealed the old guard's anxiety about the shifting landscape. BYD's assertive response showed that new players refuse to be sidelined or underestimated. Chinese EV makers are now fighting for their reputation and market share in Europe with transparency, hard facts, and a determination to be recognized as equals. The rules of the game have changed, and BYD is not just keeping up, but leading the charge into a new era of competition. BYD's rebuttal didn't just correct the record, it demolished the competition with hard numbers, leaving no room for doubt about who's leading the charge in Europe's new energy vehicle market. From January to August 2025, BYD sold 8,610 vehicles in Germany, more than double Leapmotor's 3,536. This wasn't just a small lead, it was a commanding one, showing BYD's rapid growth and strong foothold in a highly competitive market. In battery electric vehicles, BYD registered 5,852 units to Leapmotor's 3,088. The gap in pure electric sales alone highlights BYD's ability to attract tech-savvy German drivers looking for innovation and reliability. In plug-in hybrids, BYD's 2,757 sales dwarfed Leapmotor's 448. This dominance in both electric and hybrid segments shows BYD's versatility and broad appeal. The data proved BYD's dominance across the new energy spectrum, appealing to a wide range of German consumers, from families to tech enthusiasts, and everyone in between. BYD's transparency turned a defensive move into an offensive showcase of market power, using clear evidence to silence critics and win over skeptics. The company didn't just say the claim was wrong, they showed exactly how wrong, using official data and government statistics to back up every point. This left no doubt. BYD's progress in Europe is measurable, not just hype or marketing spin. The numbers speak for themselves. The sheer volume of sales in such a mature market stunned industry veterans, who are now rethinking what's possible for new entrants in Europe. BYD's strategy, marketing, and dealer expansion are resonating with German buyers, building trust and excitement for the brand. The message was clear: BYD isn't just competing in Europe, it's starting to win, and the momentum is only growing stronger. The real shock came when BYD's sales outpaced iconic European brands. In the first 8 months of 2025, BYD's 8,610 units in Germany surpassed Alfa Romeo's 5,026. Even Jeep, a global name, lagged far behind in electrified vehicles. BYD's BEV and PHEV sales dwarfed Jeep's combined 919 units. A Chinese newcomer outselling heritage brands in Europe's largest market was once unthinkable. This shift shows German buyers now prioritize technology, value, and quality over brand legacy. BYD's success isn't just about price, it's about design, tech, and appeal. In the world's most demanding market, BYD's achievement signals that no legacy brand is safe. The fortress of European auto is being breached by a new wave of ambitious Chinese automakers. Even before the sales dispute, BYD's CEO Wang Chuanfu boldly claimed China's EV sector was 3 to 5 years ahead of global rivals. This wasn't just about BYD, it was a statement about China's entire EV ecosystem, from batteries to software. Years of investment and competition have made Chinese companies leaders in key technologies, like BYD's Blade battery. Chinese automakers also excel in digital in-car experiences, an area where many Western brands lag. Wang's claim, once dismissed as bravado, gained credibility as BYD's sales and tech wowed demanding markets like Germany. The ability to offer advanced features at competitive prices is a direct result of China's efficient supply chain. Wang's early declaration was a warning. China's dominance in EVs is no longer a prediction, it's reality. As BYD surged globally, Western governments responded with tariffs. Europe imposed a 17% duty on BYD EVs, and the US market remains closed. Instead of retreating, BYD doubled down. Wang Chuanfu declared, "Protectionism doesn't work for good products." BYD's answer: "Make vehicles so compelling that tariffs can't stop demand." To counter trade barriers, BYD is building factories abroad, like its new plant in Thailand, to serve local markets and bypass tariffs. The company is eyeing more sites in Europe and Latin America, aiming for a global production footprint. Local manufacturing cuts costs, shortens supply chains, and builds goodwill as a local employer. BYD's strategy: embed itself in key regions, adapt to local tastes, and stay resilient no matter how trade winds shift. BYD isn't just an exporter, it's becoming a true multinational, ready for any challenge. The events of 2025 are part of a bigger story: China's rise as the world's automotive powerhouse. In 2023, China overtook Japan as the top car exporter, ending decades of Japanese dominance. BYD leads this charge not just by exporting, but by building a lasting presence in key markets. In Europe, BYD made waves at Munich's IAA Mobility Show and launched new models in Spain, expanding its reach. The company is also dominating in Latin America, Southeast Asia, Australia, and the Middle East. BYD's global strategy, sales networks, service centers, and local factories is forcing established automakers to defend their turf. The rise of BYD and Chinese EV makers marks the biggest disruption in the auto industry in a century. The future belongs to those who lead in electrification and software, and BYD is determined to drive that future.